So if you watch my last video, you're some kind of businessman now. Now that you have a Roth IRA, now you're this is you, right? Well, lucky for you, now that you have a Roth, you can start tracking your net worth. Not that you need a Roth to track it, but it's a little more satisfying to do so. What is your net worth? It's your assets minus your liabilities. Pretty simple. It's just everything that you own minus everything that you owe. So examples, if you have cash at home, any assets like a car or a Roth IRA, minus everything that you owe, which for most Americans is what's left on your car or credit card debt or student loans, all that sort of fun stuff. How do you stack up in net worth compared to the average person? Well, you don't know because you're not tracking it yet, but compared to the average American, the average is 113,000, the median is 7,000. Why such a difference? So say you have 7 people here, and these are all their net worths. You have one poor broke guy who's worth $42. That's all he has to his name. He probably has a lot of debt. Another guy with 50, another guy with 75. And then you have some people that are worth a little more. Pay attention to this 100 million guy over here. So if you take the average of all these people, add them all up, divide it by the 7 people you have here, the average is $14.3 million. That is not very representative of almost anybody here. You have no millionaires here, but this one guy is skewing the whole average. Whereas if you took the median, just take the guy, go 1, 2, 3 in the middle, 1, 2, 3. The median is this guy at 10K right here. He's a little more representative of the whole population because you don't have this one outlier skewing the whole average. So just like in America, where we have some pretty crazy wealth inequality, not to make this, not to get political with this video, but you know, the majority of the wealth is held in the top couple percent, you know. The bottom 50% have very little amount of the wealth, whereas the top 1% has a quarter of the nation's wealth. I think it's important to pay attention to the median. So again, quick reminder, net worth, assets minus liabilities. So if you look at the median, which is really what we care about, the average person in their 20s, which I myself am 23, so that's the one that I care about, is about $7,000, which makes sense because a lot of people have student debt, so a lot of people have negative net worth. And then as you get older, I mean, still never at any point does net worth really get super high. The average person is not incredibly wealthy. So this is you watching this video and learning how to track your net worth. That's how you'll change it. Other reasons to track your net worth that I think are important, it really helps you know your monthly expenses and know just what you're spending money on. You know, any subscriptions you might have forgotten to buy. You don't need some silly Rocket Money sponsor. You track your monthly expenses. You know what you're spending your money on, so nothing is really going to surprise you. Tracks your financial health, so suddenly your financial health starts to slip and you start spending out of control, or you start, I don't know, your bills go up, you start paying more on car insurance all of a sudden. This is a really good way to know where your money is going and know how you're looking. Or is your net worth going up? Is it staying stable? God forbid, is it going down? How are you going to know without tracking your net worth? Last, it can help you prevent lifestyle inflation, which is this idea that as you go through life and you do things like get raises or make more money, you're going to start spending more money on things that like you'll upgrade your house, or you'll upgrade your car, or you'll upgrade, even though your earning is growing, so is your spending, so you're not really increasing your net worth. So with what I'm going to show you, this will be a good way to track your historical net worth as well as your current net worth, and you can see if it's really changing. You can see if your expenses are increasing, decreasing, staying the same. I'm going to link this down below. This is a wonderful way to track your net worth, and really the way I go through it is at the end of every month I will just type in my expenses. I'll type in how much we made. I am married, so we have 2 incomes, luckily. No kids at the moment, so we are in a pretty optimal situation for money, even though we're both younger, so it works out for us. And here's a little example over here. This is not me personally. If y'all were interested, I could break down like my own personal expenses. I think it'd be kind of a lame video, but if it's something you're interested in, this is just a little example how some expenses could look. So for example, I just plugged in a bunch of random numbers here. This is not very representative of what the average person is going to be spending every month. It'll probably be higher, but yeah, for example, it's $0 for groceries except for 1 month where they decided to eat here. I just plugged in a bunch of random numbers real quick for the video. It's nice because you can see what your total discretionary spending is, and there's a couple areas in here that I could probably make a little better. Like, I don't think student loans are necessarily discretionary. You don't have much of a choice if you're paying those. Investing, I wouldn't really say it's not quite as discretionary as like, hey, I'm going to go buy a new PC part or something. It's a little more thinking of your future, a little more in the savings category, but it's something that you can decide to do, so I put in discretionary. You can go through, track your income. You can see by each month, it'll track up at the top for you. It's all automated. Hey, here's your income for the month. Here was your expenses, and it'll tell you your overall profit loss. I think that's really interesting. It'll tell you your savings rate automatically. Generally, you want to try to aim for something around a 15 to 20% savings rate, but the average American does something like I don't know, 4 or 5%. You'll have to fact check me on that, but so if it'll tell you your savings rate and give you a really good idea of how much you're spending, and then I'll go through and I'll delete anything that's like I'll delete investing because that's technically saving. So really the savings rate would be something closer to 50% for this person, but we'll undo that. So anyways, this is a really good way to go through and track your spending, and then if you go down here, you can type in your different bank balances, you can type in the balance of your different investing accounts, you can type in the general worth of your car. Obviously that's going to be, I mean, I left it pretty flat. You can type in any credit card balances you may have or student loans, anything like that. Say you have a student loan debt of $50,000, you'd go in here and type in, it is negative, so you'll say negative $50,000. And bam, right off the bat you can see if you have nothing in your bank accounts and you have, what, 2 cars in this crazy example. We'll say 1 car because again, this is a little specific to me and my wife. We each have a car. It's just you and you're doing your own thing. So you have a little junker car for $2,000. Your total net worth in the month 1 would be negative $48,000. So congratulations, you got a good starting point. For it can only go up from here, you would think. And so you can just go through and you put in all your bank balances, and you can customize this to whatever is relevant to your own life. You can put in your different investments, so like different brokerage accounts. Again, we'll go back to the graph over here. Well, there's not a whole lot here, but retirement accounts, the value of your home, maybe cash you may have on hand. There's a spot for that over here for cash. You can just put in all the different things that you have and the different things that you owe, and play around with this table a little bit and really get a good idea of your own personal net worth. And then from here, just on the 1st of every month, it doesn't have to be exactly on the 1st, but at the end of every month, go through and put in your expenses from the whole month, type in what your different accounts are worth, and it'll give you a really good idea of your spending and your net worth. And it even breaks down this fancy little pie chart over here what you're spending your money on, so you can tell this person for the whole year they have been spending more on investing than anything, so they're doing pretty well. But say they didn't invest anything, then you can see suddenly they love to travel. They're spending a lot of money on traveling compared to anything else that they do, because I think I put one really high. Yeah, they spent $5,000 on a vacation right here. So it just gives you a really good idea of what you're spending your money on, how much of your expenses are going towards fixed expenses like rent or gym or whatever. And even with the fixed expenses being down here, I still recommend going through and typing in what you're spending on it each month, because maybe your phone bill goes up, maybe your Wi-Fi goes up. Just go through and see each individual charge on your bank account. It'll take like maybe 30 minutes once a month to really get a good intimate understanding of how much you're spending on everything. Because right now I challenge you, the listener, to know how much do you spend on gas every month, and the number that you just answered, is that, how certain are you in that, or how much are you spending on eating out every month? There's really, I don't think there's any way to truly honestly know the answer until you're going through and tracking your expenses every month. So I cannot emphasize the importance enough of tracking your expenses and knowing your net worth. Shout out to Humphrey Yang. I'll put a little note I'll put a little link to his YouTube. I got this net worth tracker from him, and I think it's just a great tool to know your own financial health. And again, I cannot recommend getting into this practice enough. I think this will single-handedly just make you more accountable to the way you're spending. I think it'll make you more knowledgeable on what it costs to sustain you as a human being, and if there's anywhere that you're really trying to cut down on expenses in life, you're not going to know without seeing the numbers. So if nothing else from any of my videos ever that you do, this is why this is one of my first financial videos, because I think it is so important to track your spending and your net worth. Just do it once a month for like 30 minutes, please. I'm begging, please do it. It's great, and I can't stress it enough. This will turn your financial health around if it's bad, and if it's already good, you'll know if you're on track to achieve whatever financial goals you have. Please track your net worth. That's all I have to say. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.